Prayer given by our Divine Mother for 31st December midnight. Our Divine Mother says, we surrender up to Thee this evening all that is artificial and false, all that pretends and initiates. Let this disappear with the year that is at an end. May only what is perfectly true, sincere, straight, and pure subsist in the year that is beginning. With my blessings, says our Divine Mother. Words of Sri Aurobindo and our Divine Mother from the collective works of Sri Aurobindo. Topic: Flowers are mediums of transmission. Our Divine Mother says, when I give flowers, it is as an answer to the aspiration coming from the very depths of your being. It is a need or an aspiration. It depends upon the person. It may fill a void or else give you the impetus to progress, or it may help you find the inner harmony in order to establish peace. Our Divine Mother says, be like a flower. One must try to become like a flower, open, frank, equal, generous, and kind. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, a flower is open to all that surrounds it: nature, light, the rays of the sun, the wind, etc. It exerts a spontaneous influence on all that is around. It radiates a joy and a beauty. It is frank. It hides nothing of its beauty and lets it flow frankly out of itself. What is within, what is in its depths, it lets it come out so that everyone can see it. It is equal. It has no preference. Everyone can enjoy its beauty and its perfume without rivalry. It is equal and the same for everybody. There is no difference or anything whatsoever. Then generous, without reserve or restriction, how it gives the mysterious beauty and the very own perfume of nature. It sacrifices itself entirely for our pleasure. Even its life it sacrifices to express this beauty and the secret of the things gathered within itself. And then kind. It has such a tenderness. It is so sweet, so close to us, so loving. Its presence fills us with joy. It is always cheerful and happy. Happy is he who can exchange his qualities with the real qualities of the flowers. Try to cultivate in yourself the refined qualities. Our Divine Mother says, I give you flowers so that you may develop the divine qualities they symbolize, and they can directly transmit into the psychic all that they contain, pure, unalloyed. They possess a very subtle and very deep power and influence. Now, it seems to me that you wish to become like a flower or cultivate these qualities. And each flower symbolizes an aspect, an emanation, an aspiration, and a progress of the evolution, a progress in the evolution of the earth. On the plane of matter, plants are open to my influence. I can transmit a state of the consciousness more easily to a flower than to a man, says our Divine Mother. It is very receptive, though it does not know how to formulate its experience to itself because it lacks a mind. But the pure psychic consciousness is instinctive to it. When, therefore, you offer flowers to me, their condition is almost always an index of yours. There are persons who never succeed in bringing a fresh flower to me. Even if the flower is fresh, it becomes limp in their hands. Others, however, always bring fresh flowers and even revitalize drooping ones. If your aspiration, says our Divine Mother, if your aspiration is strong, your flower offerings will be fresh. And if you are receptive, you will be also very easily able to absorb the message I put in the flowers I give you. When I give them, I give you states of consciousness. The flowers are mediums, and it depends on your receptivity whether they are effective or not. Our Divine Mother says flowers are extremely receptive. All the flowers to which I have given a significance receive exactly the force I put into them and transmit it. People don't always receive it because most of the time they are less receptive than the flowers and they waste the force that has been put into it through their unconsciousness and lack of receptivity. But the force is there and the flower receives it wonderfully. Our Divine Mother says, I know this a very long time ago, 50 years ago. There was that occultist who later gave me lessons in occultism for 2 years. He taught me the meaning of the flowers. He sent me the petals of pomegranate flowers, telling me that these petals were bringing me her protection and force because they are wonderful, clairvoyant, and absolutely remarkable, with a greater capacity precisely of transmitting forces. Our Divine Mother says, they are extremely receptive flowers which can give a greater significance. Question: Sweet Mother, do flowers retain the force always, even when they decay? For this, our Divine Mother says, decay? No, my child. When they dry up, yes, decayed flowers are just nothing. A decomposition takes place, so the thing disappears. Perhaps it brings energy to the soil. That's quite possible, but still, when it decays, it is good only to make manure to grow other flowers. But if it dries up, it is preserved. It can remain for quite a longer time. Sweet Mother, how do you give a significance to a flower? For this, our Divine Mother says, by entering into contact with it and giving a more or less precise meaning of what I feel, by entering into contact with the nature of the flower, its inner truth, then one knows what it represents. For this, the child says, each flower has its special significance, hasn't it? For this, our Divine Mother says, not as we understand it mentally. There is a mental projection when one gives a precise meaning to a flower. It may answer, vibrate to the touch of this projection, accept the meaning. But a flower has no equivalent of the mental consciousness. In the vegetable kingdom, there is the beginning of the psychic, but there is no beginning of the mental consciousness. In animals, it is different. Mental life begins to form, and for them things have a meaning. But in flowers, it is rather like the movement of a little baby. It is neither a sensation nor a feeling, but something of both. It is a spontaneous movement, a very special vibration. So, if one is in contact with a flower, if one feels it, one gets an impression which may be translated by a thought. That is how I have given a meaning to flowers and plants. There is a kind of indication with the vibration, a perception of a quality it represents, and little by little, through the kind of approximation and the vibration of the mental thought, a sufficient harmony, a direct perception of what the plant signifies. Question: Sweet Mother, have flowers a power in the occult world? Our Divine Mother says yes. They have a occult. They have an occult power. They can even transmit a message if one knows how to charge them with it. Question: If our flower offering depends on our state of consciousness, the Divine Mother, does it help us? Sweet Mother, does it help us to learn the significance of flowers, even if it is purely mental to begin with? Our Divine Mother says, yes, surely. The fragrance of flowers is physical nature's offering to the divine, her subtle, most subtle offering. It's largely the fragrances that have made me give flowers their significances, a vibration of devotion, and as I was told, is a plant of devotion to Krishna, consecrated to Lord Krishna. There is a tapasya in that, a flower of for the Lord Shiva. So there is a long and detailed work and hundreds of experiences with flowers. It is men who see and find a reason for everything. But I doubt if the Supreme has any preoccupation. When I say divine love, I speak of the vibration of love that is at the origin of all love and that fills the universe. When I speak of the love of the divine, I am speaking of the love that the Supreme directly, specially on a point, directs it to a person or a thing. These are the words of our Divine Mother.